last Tuesday of August 2023, Mayor.
Unbelievable, huh?
It's really, it's all of a
August
sudden.
really flew by. Gee.
Did seem that way, didn't it?
Yeah, sure did.
Yes, had the superintendent and assistant superintendent on our program yesterday to talk about back to school, and teachers and staff are getting back this week, actually.
Yes, getting prepared for our youngsters.
Indeed. Sounds like it's going to be another busy year.
Always is. They do a nice job preparing. A lot of people think that everyone's off for the summer, but superintendent and his team, they get a lot of work to do in preparation for September. But I think there was I don't know if it was close to 100 positions they had to fill, or backfill, I should say, with retirements, so on and so forth. So it's a lot of work.
Indeed, yeah. Plus there was the summer programs. They had over 200 staff members overseeing those. 1,500 kids participated. So, yeah, it never really quiets down. It just kind of is a bit of a lull.
Yeah, a little change of pace, but still busy enough.
Sure. Can we talk a little bit about some school-related items, including the dedication coming up of the new Dr. Rick DeChristofaro Early Learning Center?
Yes, I believe we've circled October 22nd at 1 o'clock this fall to dedicate the new building. It will be largely finished by then. And on the checklist and going through everything, we're really going to be prepared for the first of the year, and the superintendent and his team are trying to figure out the best way to proceed from there. Would like to have open houses for the families that would use such services, and for them to come in and see what the building looks like and the state-of-the-art facility that's going to be. And then there'll be a transition, moving people into the building. And it's an exciting time for that population, it really is. I mean, some of these kids are on a bus for an hour and a half, or off to a place way away from Quincy, and then another hour and a half coming home. So, if you're a family in Quincy, you think about that. If something happens and trying to get there, it's just, I think, one more thing on your mind with all the challenges you already have, dealing with some of the situations that this population deals with. So I think it's a great thing that families will be able to keep their kids right in the community and get the great service here in a brand new state-of-the-art facility. And over time, it's still going to save us some money in the budget. So it's a win-win.
I think it is important to point out, I think, that it's voluntary, right? They don't have to do this.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
So
but Aaron tells me, the assistant superintendent, that there's a lot of excitement and interest from the parents in our district, a lot of anticipation. So I think I think we'll have no trouble filling it.
Yeah, they're anticipating up to 350 students, grades K through 8. It sounds like it's going to be kind of a rolling admission. If folks don't want to change, mid-year in January, they can wait till next fall.
Yeah, and I understand that.
Sure.
For sure. You don't want to disrupt the year necessarily. So that's up to the families. That's their choice, absolutely.
Sure. The building itself had to be kind of completely transformed, right?
It did. I mean, when I went into this early on with the school committee, I thought it'd be, fairly easy, and then when you really dig down and you get into the code issues and the expectations of the standards of the building and all the requirements that go with it. I mean, there's an inordinate amount of bathrooms, for example, in this place, and as you know, mechanical stuff, that's where big expense is. So it became a more complicated, more expensive project over time. But you don't want to do it halfway. And then the families look at it and say, "Nah, this isn't for my kid. I can do better over here." So this will be state of the art, all the bells and whistles, all the necessary components that are required under the state code and standards of such facilities. So we went into it thinking one thing, but we ended up using about $15 million in federal money to help us with this. So that was a huge help to the taxpayer of Quincy. I mean, at the end of the day, we're still going to be saving money, as I said, over time. So it's exciting, and I'm very happy for Dr. Rick DeChristofaro, who has spent his whole life in education, starting as a teacher, and I think he started as a sped teacher and worked his way up through the system, and assistant principal and assistant superintendent, and now president of Quincy College, and he comes from a great family. his mom and dad, both great public servants in a way. Ted and Betty, just wonderful, wonderful people. So I'm happy for Dr. Rick.
Very good. Look forward to that. Again, October 22nd, 1 p.m., you say?
That's what's penciled in.
Okay. Subject to slight alteration.
Subject to Rick's mother making sure she's okay with that time.
Oh, we've got to have Betty there for sure. All right. Of course, the other big project to talk about is the plans for a new Squantum Elementary School.
Yes, I believe that date is September 14th. Mm-hmm. A letter's going out to the people of Squantum, but also the people in part of North Quincy that school district serves. And people can be invited so that we can walk through the process going forward, so we can hear concerns people might have right now as the school is laid out, such as drop-off areas and pick-up areas and whatever else may be on their mind. Mm-hmm. So we'll introduce the team, the city team, the architectural team, and the contractor, OPM, I should say, and walk through the process again and listen to the concerns, and then come back probably in 3 or 4 months with conceptual designs, and then get some additional feedback from the neighborhood with that step. So it's exciting. I mean, I know each of the schools that we've rebuilt or built new schools, there's great excitement in the building committee and the community. I mean, the Squantum School has served its purpose. It's an old sneaker. It had a number of additions over time that were pretty much linear in fashion and not real quality. So that when we're looking at the next project, everybody's in a full agreement. It's time for Squantum to be replaced. It's just one of those old buildings, plants that I mean, we have a crazy setup. It's like serving lunch that has a dumbwaiter. The cafeteria people are downstairs. It's not efficient. It's not a good situation. Mm-hmm. The state was astounded when they saw the condition there. And I know they talked about the old Central being medieval. This wasn't far behind in some ways. So it's exciting times. And I look forward to, obviously, community input and then full steam ahead.
September 14th, 6:30 p.m. in the gym at Squantum, right?
That's correct, yep.
Okay, and has the reimbursement rate been determined yet from the state?
I don't think it has been yet.
Okay.
That comes toward the end of the process, end of the planning process, I should say, because it's a rolling formula that they have. So my guess is we'll be in the 60s.
Okay. Can we talk, Mayor, a little bit about a virtual meeting that the state is holding this evening regarding the intersection of Raschuti Drive and Willard Street?
Yes, so our team, namely Ed Grannon and Allie Rue from our TPL department, have been working with our friends at MassDOT, and we've all agreed that we need that intersection needs attention. That ramp was built in 30 days to serve the Big Dig to create the golf course. They needed a place for the Big Dig, and we were happy to take it to build a beautiful recreation facility. So in the meantime, we've had more development up around there, which was expected, and getting through that spot is very, very challenging. So we're in agreement with MassDOT. The city has paid for this is design phase. We're looking at a temporary signal that they're going to try out, but there will be a permanent solution to this. And I believe tonight's just another step in the MassDOT process, getting further public input.
I see. At 6 p.m. Through the State Transportation Department websites. So
right.
You can log on there. I know that the new state budget includes a small amount, like $40,000, I think, for that intersection. Any cost estimate right now? Do you know for a total?
I don't. Okay. I don't know the total cost to rebuild the whole thing. I know that the temporary signal was in the $150,000 range for some reason. That number comes to my head. I could be off on that, but I'm sure it's $1 million program overall.
Yeah. Do you think that reconstruction process needs to happen before any new development at Quarry Hills takes place?
Well, I think the sooner we get it done, the better for the people that are there now. Mm-hmm. I don't know that there's any real new development in the pipeline. I mean, there's been talk of some things, but there's nothing formal anyway. So I think this will be done before anything happens up there.
Okay. Very good. Anything else we should touch on, Mayor? Any plans for Labor Day weekend?
No good plans. Just touch the flesh. I know it's the last big push for people to enjoy the summer before people get back to school and work, and so I'll be out campaigning. But my guess is there'll be a lot of people not home, and understandably so.
Or at least in the backyard by the pool.
Yeah, there you go. That works too. Yeah.
Still plenty of things coming up in Quincy. We've got the Pops concerts with the Quincy Symphony and the Quincy Choral Society in September.
Yeah, that's a great take.
Yeah. And then the Food Truck Festival in October. So it's
yeah, I think the 9th is the symphony, and I think you get the Chowder Fest the same day in Howe's Neck. There's always something going on in the city. It's pretty remarkable, and I hear that from people there. A lot of energy and excitement about what's happening the last few years.
It's very true. I appreciate your time, and I wish you a very happy, safe Labor Day weekend.
You also, Joe, and to your listeners.
Thank you.